What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 16 of my Total Warhammer 3 Drycha Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Akka the Wanderer continues obliterating the poor dwarfs of Kadrin, them now being down to a single settlement, a Grom Peak. We are also, however, in range of Mount Gunbad, which is probably worth quite a lot of cash in terms of us raising it, but it would take us out of the way, and we are in a little bit of trouble in terms of being under attrition as well. We probably shouldn't allow Ungrim to rebuild his force again, and just by the principle of the thing. And then we could, I suppose, move down to once again Zufbar and give it all to Vlad so that he doesn't have these dwarves constantly attacking him. And though I do expect Karak will also start jumping over here. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that Mount Gunbad was worth a lot, and the fact that these guys hate us, it might have actually been more beneficial to allow the orcs to survive and continue to attack the dwarfs. But anyway, we left off last time right before we could jump into a battle with Durthu, as he is currently assaulting Ubersreik, or sieging Ubersreik, and is going to attack it in a few seconds. Let's just do whatever admin remains this turn, though as I recall we did most of it last episode, and I think, yes, we got a few upgrades here, but otherwise we are pretty much good. Let's go for the Sculptor's Cavern for a little bit of extra growth everywhere. And I believe that's actually pretty much it, isn't it? Haunted Forest, we don't need to do anything with you, especially because we can't. And man, your growth is low, 65, damn. 235 Griffinwood, yeah, you're a lot better. But we still need plenty of upgrades here. And Arguelon, you're fine as well. And, you know, now that we have 52k, maybe it's worth it to just straight up upgrade the Great Hall here. And this will slightly power up our garrison by the looks of it. Is that all it does? Wait. Income from all buildings faction-wide plus another 1%. Alright, well, it's not crazy, but we do have a very decent amount of money, so we might as well just start upgrading it. I doubt the place is going to fall, especially once it has that guard platform up and running. It's probably not going to be possible for anything other than 2 stacks to take it over. We just gotta make sure that these guys don't declare war on us before we get to them, but not to worry, next turn we'll be getting some new troops in. Anyway, that's about it for the buildings. Let's head into Ubersreik and raise it, rather. Durthu he's pretty fine in terms of items, so I guess we'll just go in like that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heroes and lords to kill. Man, that's quite a bit. Let's see how many of them Durthu can take out. And let's see what they can do to him at that. I wonder what the base stats of the Ubersreik 5 is. Pretty okay. The Bright Wizard's extremely weak in melee and could very easily be killed, and the same with the Witch Hunter. The others are pretty okay in terms of their defensive stats. Alrighty, well, we'll start on the weaklings if possible, though we do still have quite a few enemy regular units to mow down first. Let's get to it cinematically. Alrighty, well, here we go. Durthu in a siege, and he will be facing off, I guess, against the Ubersreik 8, I guess, because there's more than 5 heroes and lords here. Lots of enemy wizards around, an Amber Wizard, a Bright Wizard, and I think I saw a Jade Wizard as well. So there's certainly a lot of spells available to them, but let's just see here and take a quick look. Jade Wizard, yeah, see, the Jade Wizard only has Awakening of the Wood, so while they do have a lot of wizards, they don't have access to a lot of things. The Amber Wizard, basically useless, only has Visen's Wild form, and it'll only affect 1 unit. If the Bright Wizard only has Fireball, then really none of these mages are of any kind of concern, and I have lost sight of the damn Bright Wizard. This is an Empire Captain. I guess it's not important. He probably only has Fireball. There's a very, very strong... Oh, there he is. And no, he has Fireball and Cascading Firecloak, so probably the most useful of them. Awakening of the Wood is also pretty good, but will it hit us? That's the question, because we're sending our Dryads up those walls. Don't do this a lot, because obviously the Dryads, unsupported by Treekin, are in a fair bit of danger, but since we do have numerical superiority on those walls, we might as well and just send them up there. Plus, there's a lot of ranged units up there, and I'm sure that the Dryads can at least destroy them. And Durthu, in the meantime, is going to start breaking that wall down. We've also done some damage to the enemies by casting both Durthu's bound spell. I keep forgetting what it is called. Let me just check here real quick. And oh my lord, he has a lot of stuff here. Oh, it's just, it doesn't have a name. It's just the Sword of Daith active ability. Okay, fair enough. Use the Sword of Daith plus the combination of that and Flock of Doom to damage the units, and the gates are actually taking quite a while to be destroyed, huh? You'd think that Durthu would be able to smash through them quite quickly. Maybe the Treekin are in his way, and the Treemen can't actually hit the doors. That's actually what it's looking like. Okay, next time I'm not going to tell the Treekin to attack, but they look so nice going and attacking that gate, especially since they're the fiery variety. Oh well, on the bright side, this means that we can watch Dryads fight, which we don't actually get a lot of, as they do tend to be supplanted by the wild spirits, the wolves and the spiders and whatnot. But in this army, they make up the core, and plus they're usually the supports of... Oh, wow. Huh. Wait, Dryads can knock that many units off like that with a stagger? That's kind of interesting. I wonder. I'm gonna keep watching that a little bit. As I was saying, the Treemen and the Tree can generally take the spotlight as well, so yeah. Alrighty, Dryads in fairly large numbers, and yeah, the occasional unit does go flying off the wall. I gotta remember that for the future. He can actually essentially push units off like that. Oh, and Durthu goes in and immediately mashes a bunch of units under that sword, and he will soon be going after some better targets. Looks like we're gonna take a fireball here, but our Firebark Elders are moving in together with the regular Treeman supporting, while Durthu can function essentially by himself and go after high-value targets. He tried to go after the General of the Empire, but the latter, of course, immediately ran off. Not to worry, though, we have another unit that we can go after here, a Witch Hunter, who's already taken on one shot, and I'm sure he'll take more. Durthu does get surrounded by a lot of units, but really that's not a good place for them to be, because every swing does kill like 5 of them, so you keep that up, Durthu. On Awakening of the Wood coming down in the biggest blob of enemies that is currently surrounding our Firebark Elders, and these units also look really nice when they're fighting. There we go, though they don't mash nearly as many infantry as Durthu does. We're also going to get yet another use of that Flock of Doom in combination with the Sword of Daith effect. The reduction of the armor makes sure that the enemy takes even more damage, which is just great. And this is a pretty big blob, so we're getting fair value out of our Flock of Doom. Otherwise, it looks like the walls have been completely overwhelmed by Dryads, since once again, we sent most of them up there while the Treekin and stuff are in the middle of the settlement. These guys look to be just about done for. And there is an Empire Captain fighting up here. I guess he didn't want to fight Durthu, so he'd rather fight Dryads. And I guess we could send our own Branch Wraith up here to deal with him, but I feel like he'd get overwhelmed eventually, anyway. Now let's check back on how Durthu's doing. It looks like he's chased off that Witch Hunter who's about 1 or 2 hits away from death, and now Durthu's trying to go after that Waystalker. Though at this point, Durthu has started to take damage. He's being focused by quite a lot of units, and by both the Witch Hunter and the Waystalker in range, so they are dishing it out, plus all of the other units in combination, and the Halberdiers. That said, we do have Earthblood available should we need to heal him, and I think it's more important that we establish our beachhead with our Treekin here. There we go, very nice, very nice. So let's see what else we've got. And it looks like most of the units over on this side are going to run away. The heroes are still fighting the Empire, the General rather, in the Thane, and being the toughest 2 targets, so we can just continue sending units in. And any units that run, we will give chase to, just so that they don't simply come back. And Durthu, let's check back on how you're doing. Is this all your handiwork? Because you've been doing great, buddy. Taken a few arrows, but honestly, he's taken so many thousands of arrows at this point, I'm not sure that he cares about these, especially from basic range units. It would be nice if we could catch up to the enemy heroes, though. Let's see how fast the Witch Hunter... the Witch Hunter. Now that's an interesting looking Witch Hunter. He appears to have no head. Oh wait, do the other units have a head? Okay, well the Bright Wizard's fine. Was this always like this? Huh. I didn't realize this. This is very interesting. Almost seems like something you would see in an undead army, doesn't it? I mean, skeletons and zombies continue to fight even after losing their heads, so maybe we've exposed a wight here who is going to go to the wall. Is he trying to run up there, though? Or maybe he just can't see because he doesn't have a head, so he runs into the wall, and Durthu catches him. Oh, this is bizarre. But it does amuse me. And 354 HP, and I think you're done. And he's just gonna explode. He's not gonna lose his head because he didn't have a head to lose. Well, he didn't have a second one to lose. Let's see. Bright Wizard is going to be our next target. Durthu's gonna take a swing at the swordsman and then continue while the Firebark Elders move deeper into the settlement. Obviously, the walls are pretty much cleared at this point. There's a couple halberdiers fighting there, and the enemy, and the Emperor Captain is also taking decent amounts of damage, though he has killed 26 Dryads, which is pretty good. Probably should have sent a hero up here just to deal with him, but it's not like any of this is a real threat to any of our units anyway. Looks like the enemy Thane is surrounded here, and oh, the Branch Wraith is working on the enemy general with the help of one of the Treekins. So yeah, I guess that makes sense in terms of use of resources. Otherwise, our tree man is leading our second contingent up this little ramp area where he is fighting some knights together with some swordsmen, and leading some Treekin and Dryads to do so, mostly so that these guys don't flank us. But also because we don't really need to stay blobbed up in this particular battle, as our units aren't really all that threatened by this. It would be nice to get a few spells in here, which certainly make quicker work of what we're dealing with. We did already use a decent amount of Awakenings of the Wood, plus the Dwellers Below from our Spellsinger, who's actually taken a little bit of damage. But we gotta maintain enough HP so that when she casts a bunch of Earthbloods on Durthu after the battle is over, so he can heal up essentially to full. Granted, it's fairly unlikely that we get another attack. Ooh, Lamentation of Despair is going. And that looked like it missed. I decided to use it on the Waystalker here, mostly because for some reason Durthu kept miscasting or failing to cast on the close units. Alrighty, and with that, the battle should be just about done. I don't imagine that they're going to fight for too much longer, especially as we're essentially assaulting the enemy in every single area. There's no real units for them to continue fighting with, and there we go. I do believe that is the chain route. Everybody's gonna run away, and there are no unbreakable units in this, so we're good. Alrighty, I think Durthu only managed to kill one or maybe two of the heroes personally, but I suppose that's okay. Most of them either ran away or were being kind of annoying about it. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, but we are going to give Durthu some healing, and a little bit to our Waystalker as well, even if he is temporary in here, plus this will heal the Spellsinger. I also do believe that the Tree Man got a little bit damaged wherever he is. There he is, marching on down, so we could heal him as well. Durthu's already basically at full HP, and so Durthu doesn't have any base regeneration, does he? Like, no regeneration of his own. It would be really nice to find one, but is there a source of regeneration that Wood Elves have access to via items? I'm not sure that there is. Didn't Isabella's defeat used to give you regeneration as a lore trait? But I think that's no longer the case because she is now a hero. Although I think that was way back when. I don't remember if that's been altered. But anyway, good job, Durthu. I don't think the damage was all that severe, especially since the decisive victory happened. And obviously, any damage to our single entities got healed right up. Alrighty, not too bad. Durthu did have to take a little bit of damage there, but fortunately the healing made sure that at the end of the day, it wasn't all that bad, and it looks like Durthu outdamaged the Spellsinger as well, despite the fact that she repeatedly cast Awakening of the Wood and Dwellers Below, so good job to him. And though I feel like we didn't get too much use out of the Lamentation of Despairs, which is a little bit unfortunate, but oh well. And Durthu was having a lot of trouble casting it for some reason around several of the other heroes, as in either what he was stopped or staggered or miscast, couldn't quite tell. I have to try that again. Anyway, we should be raising the place, and 18k is very respectable. Could be better. Ooh, and we got a Banner of Eternal Flame. Oh, it's quite nice. That's quite nice indeed, and I think, because this is our fire quote-unquote army, and that should be something that could be very useful for Durthu. Also, we got a Hunting Hound out of that, but he already has one, but I feel like there's somebody who doesn't. Now, as for the Banner of Eternal Flame, we should give that to you. Do we take out the Royal Standard Bearer? It's only 2 campaign movement range, it ain't much. Enemy hero success chance. We could also lose the Dryad Spy, but that is... I mean, there have definitely been situations where I feel like the 2% campaign movement just barely bailed us out when we were just out of reach of things. But then when an enemy hero actually does something to you, it's really quite annoying. You know, let's lose the Standard Bearer for now, but I'll think about it. You can have that Banner of Eternal Flame, there you go, and I guess we can give it to the Firebark Elders to carry, or we can give it to the Tree Man, actually. Yeah. That makes sense. Alrighty, now, you are no longer healing, unfortunately. We might return you to Karak Asgaraz, but we could also raise a few more things. Nuln is nearby, though it's not worth a lot, but raising it might be valuable just for raising it, as in to weaken the faction. Fildorf down here is worth quite a bit. I don't want to be around here too long, though. We just need to be here long enough to raise new stuff for Durthu's new army. Now, in terms of what we've got here, we got 1 turn, so let's end this turn, and let's start building up the retrofit. Then Durthu can jump back over to the Waterfall Palace, take out the tree places and from the Azure, and then go back and continue to raise the Empire and give it to Vlad. Alrighty, let's skip the rest of this. Building upgrade available, yada yada. Outpost upgrade available with... oh, that's the Vlad one. Still kind of not super inclined to spend it, but you know what? Nah, you know what? Keep holding on to that. You never know when we need a massive amount of money, like to upgrade these trees, which are pretty darn expensive. Actually, speaking of the trees, well, I guess we're going to be going for you. Although, you know what? I've been saving it up, but I think we want to upgrade at least 1 level of all of the garrison buildings, just in case. We get... it's actually not that much better, but nonetheless, it'll be more ammunition, if not... what, actually, it's more reload, not more ammunition, but it's something. It would be really unfortunate to lose a tree to, like, a random army that just suddenly appears. Yeah. Alright. Skip the rest of that, let's end the turn. I don't think we can get attacked anywhere. At least not right now, so it's unlikely. But we will take a look at Drycha, perhaps. Drycha, where are you? Yeah, there's nobody here. But just in case. I'd like to keep an eye on the forest here as well, just in case, because Kugath and the Caravan of Blue Roses are both against us, and they may very well come down to attack us here. Also, this is still the Defenders of the Great Plan, yes? Yes. Just want to make sure that they don't all get killed by the Blessed Dread, and thus have the Blessed Dread come down to our territory and annoy us. And okay, looking like no attacks. Good. Ellendelling ready for a duty, but it's Colas that we care about right now. Also, Nethu is done, the research I mean, so more post-battle loot income and more magic item drop chance, which we really do quite need. Avalorn calls for raid. What is this? Gaian Vale. A messenger from Avalorn. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the heck is this? The tree died? Are you kidding me? That's that's unfortunate. It does reduce the cooldown for Deep Fruit's teleportation, though. Alright, let's give this a quick read. Gayan Vale, a messenger from Avalorn, court of the Ever-Queen Alariel, has arrived with dire news. A mighty host of chaos has invaded their kingdom and seeks to burn it to the ground. The demon worshippers master their first thirst for Acer souls, but more than that, they seek to annihilate the heirs of Anarion and destroy the vortex that prevents their return. Alariel has hastily opened up the world routes pathways to Avalorn and beseeches you for aid. Neat. Huh. This means we could theoretically take this without needing to declare war on Avalorn. Oh, and it's another different type of army that we haven't fought yet. Damn, Drycha wants, damn it. We could try to leave the Haunted Forest temporarily. We don't have another army that could do this right now. Alright, well, either way. Oh, don't tell me this is under siege now. Attacking foreign assets is an act of war? Yeah, thanks. Go. It looks like it is not under siege. Hopefully we're the only army here, and hopefully we can take it next turn. I don't know why I decided to stay in Noble Gorge, but ultimately, once again, it doesn't matter. I suppose I should have had Drycha colonize it, actually, but no, but then she didn't have the time to do it. Yeah, I guess not. You will also need to build this, but for now, get your growth building, the secondary growth building. And keep doing what you're doing. Can you survive a full stack from Kugath? Obviously not, so we'll need to send a lord to defend you. But we'll do that shortly. Now, next research. We are going to relatively shortly, start getting a few more elf units, which means we could go for Astraeus, but it takes quite a while to get there. That said, the Kronos upgrade is okay. The Koeth upgrade is okay. We can also get the Wisdom of the Eagle Lords, but honestly, we don't have any great eagles right now, though we will get some. This is all relatively meh. I do like the speed a little bit, but for the trees, it makes no real difference. Cooldown for Lore of Dark Magic. Casualty or punishment rate and corruption reduction, those are all fine. Heroic Killing Blow for Glade Lords and Elf Capt or Glade Captains, who cares? Ooh, construction cost reduction for 15% for all buildings, you say. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Alright, I think then we're gonna go for Astraeus. We're going to... Damn it. It's gonna take a while to research that. And the reason I think we go for Astraeus is to reduce the elf upkeep, because by then, most likely, we'll have the elf army up and running, but in addition to that, we can immediately go through to Asuryan to get the construction cost reduction. Will that matter all that much? Probably not, but it does also allow us to close in with the Kadai upgrade, which is high elf relationships, but the Winds of Magic cost reduction for Lore of Life is quite useful, because we use it many times, constantly in every single battle. Yeah, so this line seems... It's a little bit better, at least for us, and for right now. Alrighty, Drycha, stay where you are, let's keep moving. Akka, you have places to be, you have dwarfs to kill, and potentially, not just dwarfs. But yeah, we'll take Grom Peak first, so... Wow, if we put you into a camp stance, you can barely go there. You know what, I think we just... Do we suffer attrition here? Yes, we do. Okay, fine. I think we have to jump here, and we have to hope that we can actually reach this place in one move. Afterwards. I'm not sure that we can, but I'm certainly thinking that Akka should be able to destroy Grom Peak without too much trouble afterwards, and this guy doesn't want to peace out either. Interesting. How's Vlad doing? He hasn't retaken Schwarzhafen yet, which is a shame. How many territories does Zufbar have? Only the 3, so they're actually not that strong. If we take Zufbar itself out, they're limited to Karak, Dromar, and Schwarzhafen, which won't be nearly as good, and will be a lot easier for Vlad to take. We do have to watch out for Dusty coming back up here, jumping over, and going after Nashrak's lair and stuff, which might be an indication of a decent time to give the stuff to Vlad. And I was gonna make another lord to potentially grab these things to also give those to Vlad, but I do wonder how much gold would generate for our faction. I guess we're about to find out. Alrighty, well, first of all, Tala, you're headed out to Talabaim. You really can't move very far right now, can you? Oh, it's because of the Wild Heath. Yeah, okay. That's really quite annoying. Alright, go into Masterful Ambush and then go here. It actually might not be such a bad thing if you got attacked, but nonetheless, who knows what's out there, and since we can't move, we gotta be a little bit more careful than usual. Alright, next up, that is Durthu. And you got an army here, but you can't reach it. I'm not going to bother retaking Ubersreik. I am, however, tempted to attack Nuln. Anything here worth a lot? No, it's still probably worth decent amounts of money. Actually, Doddernbach looks like it's worth more than Nuln is. You know what? Go into encamp stance for now. You heal very quickly, especially your Dryads. So even with the Wild Heath, you can heal up for 1 turn, and then either hit Nuln or then move to Doddernbach. You still gotta be here for a few turns as yet, anyway. Next up is Sorostat. You have to actually join Durthu, so keep going. Hopefully she doesn't get assassinated immediately by some of these guys. I guess we'll see. Then, Colas, you're back up and running, my friend. Where are you? Right here. And yeah, we're gonna go very negative very quickly, but it's temporary. Because we'll be giving stuff to Durthu. So we need to start recruiting malevolent trees. At least they're cheap in their recruitment, but damn, it's gonna take a while. The recruitment is really slow, isn't it? Huh. And it's not crazily more expensive to upgrade them this way. Alright, what if we do 1, 2... 3, 4. Oh, it's gonna take 6 turns. Alright, let's do 4 for now. And then eventually we'll also get some malevolent trees via global recruitment, most likely. Is there a commandment? Yeah, we don't have commandments. I was hoping to increase the recruitment capacity. But yeah, it'll take a while to build up the army. At least in this manner. That's fine though, not a big deal. And I did want to get the elf army up and running for Colas. So actually, speaking of Colas, you are going to join Colas's army, which is why you've been waiting here. This Dryad has Befuddlement of Mischiefs, and we got to keep an eye out on possibly more Befuddlement of Mischiefs. Wait, that'll be only Branch Wraiths? None of which do have it, unfortunately, but we'll keep an eye out. Alright, well. Damn, that movement range reduction really hurts, doesn't it? And that's why I was kind of annoyed when it came up. Alrighty, well, let's see what we can upgrade here. Griffinwood, you can go for the Vineyard. You are already upgrading that Arbiter's Perch, and then we'll later on have to decide what last building we have to build. We don't actually need the Forest Caves either. We could just delete them later on. But I am kind of inclined to go for the Canopy of Hysh, or to otherwise build a few military buildings, especially the ones that increase Waystalker capacity, at least until we have that army up and running. Assuming that nothing else increases our garrison capacity, and I don't think it does. We could go for the Azray Armories as well because of the construction cost reduction, but still kind of meh. Well, the construction cost is never going to matter nearly as much as army upkeep. Anyway, Waterfall Palace, you can keep going as you are. Keep building upgrades. Jungles of Qian. Yeah, you know what, let's upgrade your Arbiter's Perch as well. And you're nearly ready. Ooh. Can't wait. Can't wait for that 30% Forest Spirit reduction. That's really gonna help. Also, we haven't taken Diplomacy, given it a look in a few. Oh look, the Lamian Sisterhood now wants a non-aggression pact. Ah, those traitors. Avalorn. They don't actually dislike us. It's not as much as I thought they would. And I'm still very tempted to jump somebody here, it's just that... The question is who? We could get Durthu to go up... Wait, how do we get Durthu to go up there? Can we use the world roots when we don't own the tree? Select a forest currently in a magical forest region and click the Deep Roots button on a different magical forest to instantly travel there. There's a cooldown between uses. It just says in a magical forest region. It doesn't say settlement. So maybe we can. Drycha still needs to be here for a while to take out this stuff and protect this place. Although it would be nice for her to be able to leave. Well, I guess we'll give this a try with Colas and... Oh, nice, 6 turns... Yeah, we could do it in 6 turns. And by then, Durthu comes back and picks these guys up. Makes sense to me. Alrighty, well, I believe that's all we can do, so we're gonna end the turn. I keep thinking there's gotta be something we can do right now, but alas, not the case, so let us end it. And let's take a look at this dwarven location. Let's hope that we can hit Grom Peak. Oh, and hope that Drycha's gonna be able to take... Oh, don't tell me they just conquered it. Nope, Chiang's still owned by Goldtooth. Well, looks good to me. Looks like we're not getting attacked by anything as yet. Dwarves have started to rebuild an okay-looking army here, but it's not going to hold against Akka, especially since Ungrim himself failed. You want the non-aggression now? Go to heck. And we're good. Alrighty, what is this? Festival of the Equinox. Interlopers into the Trickster's Woods have been caught and brought before you to face justice. The sentence is clear: death. Yet before you can pass judgment, one of the captives issues a brazen challenge. If he can last 1 hour in battle with a war dancer, then he and his friends go free. If not, he accepts your sentence. It is a bold request, but one you have no obligation to accept. So a dance with war gives us reduction for upkeep of war dancers and blade singers, which we don't care, or we get a massive amount of control, which in turn gives us more growth. So obviously we're gonna punish the interlopers. Alright, kill him. Also, that's what Drycha would do. What would Drycha do? I ask myself this every day. Alrighty, Grom Peak, let's head to here, and I take it we're not gonna be able to auto-resolve it. Crushing defeat, you say? Yeah, the game really likes to paint all these battles with Akka and crushing defeats, and they never are. They never are. Alrighty, well, we'll do that in a second. Let's see what else we can get up to. Drycha, you've been moving up to Chiang, and this does mean immediately declaring war on the Ogres, who are currently in an alliance with the Lazargs. Now the question is, do we declare war on them directly, or do we ask to join the war of these guys? If we ask to join the war against Goldtooth, they're willing to give us 5.7. Not quite to the military alliance, but not too bad. I'm thinking that the settlement is worth more. If you're wondering why I'm thinking this through like this, rather than immediately joining, it's because if we attack directly, Vlad will also become in a war with Goldtooth and stuff. Though the question is, well, I mean, this will increase our relationship with him further, which is already, as I recall, pretty good. But we want him fighting as many factions as we possibly can that we're fighting. Though, considering the amount of territories we're probably going to give him, it probably won't make that much of a difference. Nonetheless, I think we're just going to attack directly, regardless of the fact that they're at war with the or they're friends with the Lazargs, because we're going to attack them as well. Go, 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 Drycha. This should be auto-resolvable. Declare war. Yes. Alrighty, and we are going to auto-resolve that, and we are not going to... 4K. But then Drycha will walk away and have to waste another turn. I think we need to get back to the forest as quickly as possible. I'd love to take the 4K, but it's not worth our time right now, so let's seed it. We'll spend 1 turn here healing up to full, and at the same time, I guess we will quickly build a building. Wait, let's check how much it's worth right now. Trade settlement. Jiang is worth 19, yeah, so they'll go straight for a military alliance. Yeah, we'll do that next turn. Beautiful. And this will mean access to their units, but it'll also probably mean an alliance that'll protect us here in the jungles, and it's probably key that we maintain the jungles of Qian basically through the entire game. It's probably the most important of the trees, by virtue of that forest spirit upkeep, rather. Alright. And I really wish that we could see out here to see if there's anybody coming for us, but alas, we cannot. Alrighty, Tala, you're still on the way to Talabayim. Talabayim, huh? Alright, keep going, buddy. Do we keep you in... The question is, do we want them to come and fight us? And we kind of do. Maybe they'll attack us together if we stay like this. And this will count as a forest battle, I take it, though I also think that we probably won't get too much advantage out of it. Go here. Approach. Well, let's see if they attack. I'd love it if they did. Would this be possible in a field battle? The garrison here is not too bad. And Tala is still relatively low level. And we shall see. And Durthu, you unfortunately cannot reach Nuln in one go. I think you're just gonna have to approach it. So let's just go here. It doesn't really matter where. And we'll attack it next turn. You are obviously going to keep getting new Durthu trees, and I believe that's all we can do. Unless, wait, are you ready to join Durthu? Oh, should actually be able to join them for the attack on Nuln, which means we could probably replace Deluric here. Well, next turn. Mostly because this is a relatively useless branch rate, as it's just inferior to ours. Alrighty, and with that, I think we're good, unless there's something to build up. Oh, I guess we want to upgrade this. Yeah. Now I think we're good. Unless there's something else to upgrade, but it doesn't look like there is, so let's get Tala to finally destroy... Wait, no, not Tala, Akka, rather. To finally destroy Ungrim's faction. It's been a while getting here, but we're finally here. Crushing defeat, we shall see about that. I guess we owe Ungrim's faction one last cinematic battle, though judging by the forces in here, it shouldn't be that difficult, but nonetheless. Alrighty, here we go. In the first couple of seconds, Akka immediately takes hits from the enemy Iron Drakes and gets burninated, but of course immediately casts a regrowth on himself as well, as he does have quite a bit of healing to do as he starts the battle off quite badly damaged. We also immediately send all of our Great Hawks up on top of the wall to make sure that these Iron Drakes can do nothing more. And let's see, I'm hoping... Look at the trails! Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that these guys would have trails as they fell. That's pretty good. Too bad they're not crushing the Slayers under them. And I assume that these guys are dead too, despite being special units, as in not regular infantry. And yes, indeed, it looks like them falling off the walls kills them as well. Lovely. This is certainly something for the Hawks to achieve, though they will be taking cannon shots as they're up here, so we do gotta kill and then get the heck out as fast as possible before too many of these guys die. Maybe it would have been better to only send one up here, but I guess, well, this is what we're going with. Alrighty, Akka is doing a little bit of damage to the Slayers, though, but he hasn't actually broken through the gate. They just moved close enough for him to actually strike. And this is actually a pretty good position for us to be in. A single tree man can hold a gate like this for a long, long time. Enemy can just feed its troops into the meat grinder here. And there we go, and it looks like the enemy is even going to start taking some damage from splash from its own cannons, which I can certainly appreciate. And there we go. Keep working on those Slayers, Akka. If these are giant Slayers, I guess it would be a little bit scarier, but I think like this we're okay. There we go. More getting knocked around by their artillery, and though now they're moving away, and we have to work on the gate some more. I do wonder if the cannon fires at the gate while it's closed, but it's friendly fire, would it still do damage? I guess we'll find out. Also, I don't generally like to have 2 siege battles in an episode, but, well, and not really anything we can do to avoid. Plus, I suppose the doctrine for Durthu's siege versus Akka's siege is pretty different. Durthu having, of course, sent his Dryads up those walls, whereas we're not doing that here at all. And in fact, we're going after all 4 enemy gates, as our giant wolves have purposely been deployed elsewhere. And hopefully we can achieve something with that, at the very least, hit the enemy units in the back and take out a few stragglers, like for example these Thunderers, while we work on breaking through those gates. Alrighty, giant wolves. Thunderers are pretty vulnerable to your sort of thing, so get to it and start ripping them apart. They probably should have kept at least a unit of warriors here or something that could fight the giant wolves, because these Thunderers will be done for very quickly. Shaken, unit losing decisively, and have already dropped to about half HP. They're also running rather than fighting, maybe into the into this other unit of Longbeards, but I think they're too far away to help. So, too bad for them. Another unit of wolves has broken through another gate here, and we'll be going after Quarrelers, and then the same thing is happening at the 3rd gate against this Quarreler unit as well. So good job to the giant wolves. They will also, after killing, or after shattering at the very least, these units, will be able to capture enemy supply locations to destroy the towers, prevent the enemy from getting more supply, and maybe even capture the main building as well. Akka's also now broken through the gate, and the bears and the spiders are in, and they don't have the giant support that they usually would have, but I'm sure they'll be okay. Akka's also still getting a little bit focused down, but we are sending the the Great Hawks to take those cannons out so that they can't keep hitting Akka, as he does keep towering over everybody. And there's that Assault of Stone coming down on a blob of enemy Thunderers and Dwarf Warriors, and the goal here was to stop them from firing at Akka as well, as he is getting quite annoyed, as we can all see. And now, the fourth gate is currently being worked on, or has already been destroyed by our other Giant Wolf unit, and then we are going to send in our hurt spiders, as in the spiders that we didn't send directly through the main gate, to go around and annoy the enemy and hit them in the back, etc., etc. Looks like the enemy cannons are down, and we will be sending the Hawks around to get any isolated range units, and then to destroy any towers that we can reach. It looks like our Giant Wolves are also starting to capture any points. One of the Corollary units did run off and go up on those walls, though, so we can't deal with them, but that's okay, we can simply keep capturing stuff, so at least we have something for them to do. Alrighty, spiders should be making their way through the gate soon, but the wolves are actually going to move in first and bypass the Longbeards to hit these Thunderers. We used the Assault of Stone on them, but unfortunately it didn't make the unit route, but I'm sure the wolves hitting them in the back will force them to get gone. And there we go, they're going to try to run into melee to, well, I guess get help. It's very interesting that the AI's been programmed to do this, isn't it? I mean, I don't believe this was a behavior that was really a thing in Total Warhammer 2, or at least I didn't notice it happening constantly. Whereas now, when enemy range units seem to get hit, they always seem to march into melee, where they can intermingle with their own melee troops. I do wonder what would happen if once they've intermingled with the troops and your own, for example, Direwolves or Giant Wolves have been seen off, would the range unit then leave the enemy melee and return to range fire, or would it then continue instead as a ranged unit thereafter? Gotta test that out a little bit at some point. Though, how to achieve it on purpose is, I guess, an interesting question. Well, regardless, it looks like the gate has been, or the area surrounding the gate has been pretty thoroughly invaded. The enemy balance of power is dwindling fairly rapidly down to about 20-ish% at this point. The enemy lord is pretty hurt in having fought Akka, though Akka has reached his healing cap. He's still more healthy than he was at the start of the battle, because we went in here hurt. Otherwise, we'll be heading up the ramp very shortly. Our Hawks are destroying the enemy towers, and we have captured, I believe, 3 supply points if we count this key building, and there is a unit of Longbeards, the leader unit, I guess, because it's named, heading down here, and we have 3 units of Giant Wolves to hit it with, which I think should be fun to watch. Obviously, we can't charge a single unit directly at a unit of Longbeards, but 3, I'm sure, should be able to take care of them just fine. And there we go. Alrighty, and suddenly, imagine being suddenly within your city and then wolves come from every single direction. Gotta be a pretty bad feeling. Especially since this is an underground city too. Well, semi-underground, I guess it is partly open to the sky here, but yeah, there we go. It looks like just like that, the Longbeards are broken. Actually, not too much damage to our Giant Wolves, but, well, that's hitting them from 3 directions. It looks like the Hawks have managed to destroy the enemy towers and are moving on to the other towers, and Akka has broken, or otherwise killed, perhaps, the enemy lord. Not sure where he is. And there's a Thane that's broken as well. So here we go, up the ramp, at least with the bears and the rest of our units. Our Hawks are still fighting in the background, but we do have to be careful with them, as we don't want them charging enemy warriors. I am excited to build an Air Force army, though, that could make more use of the Hawks. Like, we could do Hawks and Hawk Riders and Great Eagles and Manticores. And I guess we'll have to have, well, an Ancient Tree Man as the leader. Plus, we can make it a Beast Lore Ancient Tree Man, because that'll give these guys frenzy as well. It won't make them any tankier, but at least a little bit more effective. We'll still have to be very careful with them, as they're just so fragile, but I do want a little bit more variety in the armies as we build up our economy a little bit. Anyway, a close victory in this siege, as we did take a little bit of damage breaking through this gate. In particular, the spiders that were sent in took the most, I think, but dishing out damage to slayers means you're gonna take damage yourself as well. Otherwise, we're pretty okay, and it's not like there's an enemy that's right beside us to capitalize on this, because the faction's dead. Well, there we are, another well-deserved victory for Akka, and unless there's a hidden army somewhere, this should be the end of Ungrim's faction. Elder Scout, enemy killed in battle, faction destroyed, Kadrin. Beautiful, and on top of that, Akka did not move away from Grom Peak, which means we colonize it, and use it to heal up before heading down to Zufbar and taking that as well. And then I guess we'll jump back over to Mount Gunbad afterwards. Durthu must be real happy about what we've been getting up to here. And yeah, now there are 3 settlements here that we should probably colonize. I mean, yeah, it'll cost us money, but once again, seems like it'll probably end up being worth it to power up Vlad. Oh wow, Kislev and Prague have both fallen. Yeah, so I guess we certainly affected the balance of power by destroying Kislev, and the Skaven corruption is high here, which means most likely Molder has won, though I suppose it could also be Clan Ferric. It's kind of hard to see or tell who is coming down here. Hopefully Vlad doesn't end up allying with Molder while Molder attacks us. Well, I suppose we could always give him settlements in order to, well, not break an agreement. I've actually never seen an agreement get broken on purpose. Between the AI, like, you know that option where you can pay the AI, or give the AI some stuff rather, specifically so that it breaks such and such agreement between such and such? Never seen it happen, but not that I've tried too many times after it never panned out. Anyway, with that, we are going to end this episode here. Next time we will, well, after ending the turn, give Chiang to the western provinces and then get a military alliance with them. Obviously build the outpost, whereas Drycha will return through these territories. Maybe it might be worth it to actually just get a temporary army in the Haunted Forest for now and jump Drycha over to Avalorn and retake the Gaian Vale here. There's certainly good reason to do so. I do wonder what special building we have access to there as well. And this will mean not having to declare war on the other elves, which, while kind of annoying for now, it's certainly not a priority for us to do so while we kill the Azrai. So, yeah. I do like the idea. The question is, I guess, if we send Drycha there, or we give up on this whole Nuln and their territories, or Vissenland's territories here with Durthu, and just jump him over, and then go through the Oak of Ages instead. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see next time, so stay tuned for more trees. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.